It's Deprogram, the podcast where we try to get you into a band. That's right. We've done all the work for you. All you have to do is press play and listen. My name is Justin, and you can call me Band Curious because I'm indeed curious about bands. And typically here on Deprogrammed, what we would do is get together, shower a band or artist with some love, and then have a conversation and come out with a top 10 circuit list for you to get into said band. If you're new here, I highly recommend giving a Thursday episode a listen so you know what exactly it is I'm talking about. If you somehow just randomly stumbled on this, hi. Please consider giving a subscribe. And we do this daily now. And like I said, the big episodes are on Thursday. That's where we do the actual deprogramming. That's a word now. It's not deprogramming. It's deprogramming. So you've stumbled on us on a Friday, which means it's a Q&A day. And I got a ton of Undercutters questions, mostly from Joe. I think a couple people tagged on here in an attempt to just jump in. Well, they saw Joe going and decided that they wanted in too. So I went ahead and asked the boys to answer some of these as well. So the first question was, when can I get the vinyl? Which was actually a response to, I put out if you wanted to pre-save Domesticated Nostalgia, which the Undercutters EP just recently hit streaming. It is also available on Bandcamp. Any way you want to do that, we just want people to hear it is the big thing. When can I get the vinyl is the question. And the answer from DJ was LOL. And the answer from Josh was, are you offering to release it? My answer is somewhere in between the two of them. There will be a physical release. We're probably putting out CDs. Vinyl is iffy, and I'm sure you've heard this before. And if you have, a lot of the people that listen to this are musicians, so they're already familiar with this. But vinyl's, it's expensive to press. So I'm not saying it's not going to happen. It may, but it's just expensive. So we have a buddy, Eric, who was talking about getting a press. Who knows if he did or not? If he did, then we might press with him. Who knows? But if we can find a reasonable price to press at, we will probably release vinyl. But I would just expect a disc, possibly cassettes, most likely just a disc for Domesticated Nostalgia. The second question, name a low and middle top tier venue you'd love Undercutters to play at. DJ's answer, the White Oaks. That's the answer for all three. And Josh, literally anywhere but Frank's. We've only played like 3 spots now. I'd love to play the Warehouse again. That was a really great spot, but there is a chance that we're going to be playing the American Theater sometime this summer. Again, that's a don't hold your breath. And it's looking like we might get to play a couple songs at Matt's birthday in July at the Hampton History Museum. This isn't answering the question. The chalk answer is to play the Norva. I don't want to go chalk, but I feel like when it comes to around here, that's the one. Like, it's a 1,500 seater, so it feels like if we're big enough to be playing a 1,500, I've seen the place empty, so like I'm not, this isn't delusions of grandeur, but like if we're big enough to play a 1,500 seater. And right behind it, I want to say it used to be Juma's, Jewish Mother Backstage. I don't know what it's called now. Chicho's backstage, maybe. But they've got a nice stage that I haven't been able to play. It's a reasonable sized venue. I say I haven't been able to play. I haven't been able to play anywhere. So if you'd like the Undercutters to come play, figure out a way to get us there and we'll come play. I know this is kind of a cop-out, but yeah, I feel like that's the best I can answer. When do we get a Finger Me reboot? So DJ answers soon ? And Josh's answer, write your congressman. The real answer to this, of course, is somewhere in between. We've technically recorded a version of it where, because DJ and I kind of talked about it before that show you came and saw us at, Joe, the warehouse one. And I kind of put it in front of the boys, like I had reworked the idea for it. So there is like a demo version of it that exists, but we've only played it the once, and then we had to get back into show rehearsal mode, and it hit the cutting room floor. So maybe this week at practice, it'll get back into rotation and be finished and or ready by the next time we play, and maybe on the next EP, which might be this year, because we already have a minimum of 2 songs that are ready to go. We just haven't obviously recorded them yet. Any chance Undercutters remakes Erase Your Face? DJ, nope! ! And non-zero seems fair is Josh's answer. Yeah, I mean, I would say it's non-zero just because 2/4 of Stale is in this band. I just don't think it's likely. A lot of those songs we've talked about, like the way I used to write a lot here, and a lot of those songs are lyric heavy, and Jonathan was a better guitar player than I am. So like some of them I can play, like the opening riff to Sleepy. I could probably learn Yellow Pages. There's like a handful that I might be able to learn to play and sing. But realistically, Finger Me is probably the only song that makes it out of that record and into becoming an Undercutter song. All right. If you could cover 5 tracks turned into a parody Weird Al style, what would it be? DJ's answer, no, I'm not thinking that hard right now because they just got off of work. Josh's answer, I'd be more interested in covering Weird Al parody songs in the style of real songs. Let's say Eat It, Amish Paradise, My Bologna, Fat, and Like a Surgeon. Yeah, I think so. I've always been of the mindset I'd rather cover a Weird Al original. And to that point, I had learned Frank's 2000-inch TV and turned it into a punk song. I do have an acoustic version of that somewhere. I was going to toss it to the boys when the band started getting together, because I did that and Dare to Be Stupid. And both of those I think are excellent for like Undercutters. But I found out that, I forget the guy's name. I was talking to Brandon one night on an episode of After the Fact, after we did an episode or a deprogrammed pod, and he said that somebody had done a Weird Al Originals EP where they covered 3 Weird Al originals, and 2 of them were the ones that I had just mentioned. So, that question spawned an answer from John, who said, or if Weird Al covered an Undercutter song, what would it be? To which Joe said, who would cover Weird Al covering Undercutters? And John said, Undercutters, of course, which is true. I'm guessing, yeah. So I'm guessing Anderson asked, is it true that the full-length album is going to be titled Knife Time? And DJ didn't answer, but Josh answered, possible but unlikely. And then in response to the exchange, Josh answered, Bike Route to the tune of Psych Out, about a person person en route to work on their bike and all the crazy things they encounter. The exchange that includes this question appears to have preemptively stolen my idea from question 5, and I'd like to state for the record that I read these in the order that they were presented to me, and so my answer to number 5 was not influenced by that exchange. Yeah, to me, I wouldn't mind covering a Weird Al song, changing styles. Like I said, we did, I did a punk version of Frank's 2000-inch TV, and I did a grungy, I guess, an alt 90s version of Dare to Be Stupid. And I'd love for those to see the light of day. I think Dare to Be Stupid's a lot of words that I would have to rememorize. At one point I had them at the drop of the hat. It would take me a while to get that back. Whereas Frank's 2000-inch TV would take me like all of 30 minutes to have it back and ready to perform. And then we got one more question from Brian, which was not related to the band at all. He asked if a hot dog is a sandwich. It's unanswerable, because what defines a sandwich? Meat between bread, right? So technically, yes, but all signs point to no. Like, I would say, like, if you get sausage, if you get like a sausage roll, right? Like, and I mean, like, if you get a bun and you put a sausage on it, is that a sandwich? I don't know. Is a hot dog a sandwich? That's a bigger question than I can answer, Brian. How dare you bring that here? So if anybody thinks they have the answer to that, please let us know. As always, forever taking questions. We try to do a Q&A every Friday. So if you would like to get your question in, Discord is the best way, and the best, easy, fastest way to get to the Discord is by pledging to the Patreon, patreon.com/ohhijustin. $1 a month gets you in the door. It also gets you that invite to the Discord. If you don't want to do that, it's cool. One step more is just asking me for the link, and I'll get you the link. You come join and jump in the Deprogram channel, ask your question, and we will ask it on our Q&A episode. And with that, have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you on Monday. Bye.